Look, 2026 is actually going to revolutionize everything we know about the horror genre. And no, I'm not talking about Resident Evil Requiem. Don't get me wrong, I'm extremely hyped for it. I think it's going to be incredible, and Capcom is basically carrying the AAA industry on its back right now. But I'm talking about real horror. I'm talking about the games that don't just give you a polished jump scare and a game over screen. I'm talking about the titles that actually stay with you, the ones that are the reason you won't be able to sleep at night. While everyone else is chasing the mainstream hype, these are the games I am actually waiting for in 2026. These are the projects that are going to push your hardware to the absolute limit and turn your room into a high-stakes trauma simulator. First one on my radar, Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival. Night Dive Studios has officially graduated from being the guys who just clean up old relics. They are now an absolute unit of original production. After the technical masterclass that was the System Shock remake, they're using their proprietary Kex engine for a ground-up reimagining of Hellraiser. The hook here is what they call systemic ritualism. This isn't your standard action horror bullet sponge fest where you just shoot until the red bar goes down. It's a high-fidelity, immersive sim where the environment itself is trying to reorganize your character's physical structure. They've upgraded the Kex engine to handle advanced fluid simulation and wet shaders. We're talking saturated textures of oxidized metal and visceral organic matter that looks so real it's honestly nauseating. Imagine you're trying to solve one of those complex geometry puzzles, real Hellraiser stuff, and as you move the pieces, the map's layout warps and liquefies in real time. It's not a cutscene, it's a hardware-intensive overhaul of the actual space you're standing in. If you're on a base PS5 or an older GPU, I'm telling you now, those frame drops are gonna feel like a personal attack. It's gross, it's beautiful, and it's pure psychological friction. It's exactly what the meta needs right now. But if Hellraiser is about the physical body, Ontos is about the absolute crushing weight of the abyss. This is Frictional Games, the undisputed kings of the psychological meta. They're using HPL Engine 4 to build a spiritual successor to Soma, and the tech they're pushing is... it's unsettling. They've rebuilt the engine to handle complex acoustic pressure simulation. In the deep sea, sound isn't just a sound, it's a physical force that vibrates your headset. The real W here is the AI architecture. Most horror AI is scuffed. You hide in a locker for 10 seconds, the AI resets its pathing, you win. Not in Ontos. They're using a persistent navigation mesh. If you trigger a sound or leave a trace in a specific sector, that entity stays there. It patrols, it learns. It doesn't despawn just because you went through a loading screen. The gameplay is pure high-consequence isolation. No combat. Just you and a persistent threat that is literally using your hardware's processing power to simulate fragmented consciousness. Your UI will start to glitch and distort as your character's mental state breaks. It's the kind of game that makes you want to leave the lights on for a week. Look, Ontos could be absolutely cracked. It's that specific kind of high-fidelity nightmare that might actually be the dark horse of the year. And look, I spend my life covering these gems and the absolute traps in this industry, so you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, make sure you don't end up wasting your hard-earned cash on a launch day disaster. I do the digging so you don't have to get scammed by a target render. Speaking of target renders, let's talk about the one that actually looks like it shouldn't exist, Ill. Team Clout went viral with those tech demos that everyone, myself included, was calling cap on. We all thought they were just target renders. Well, turns out it's real, and it is the most visceral, don't show this to your mom push for biological realism I've seen on Unreal Engine 5. The core flex here is the modular damage feedback system. We aren't talking about scuffed blood decals or some red flash on the screen. Using Nanite and Lumen, they've engineered a system where every single impact generates real-time morphological changes to the enemy models. You hit something with a shotgun, you're seeing the dynamic destruction of skin. then muscle, and finally the actual bone layers in real time. It's a slow, tactical FPS where the weapon handling feels like it weighs 50 pounds. Every surface in that decayed town feels tactile, feels dangerous. Ill is shifting the meta from shooting a target to systematically neutralizing a biological threat. It's going to be the new benchmark for body horror. But listen, you better have a 50 series card ready if you want to see those bone layers in 4K without your PC turning into a space heater. It's literally going to melt your processor. Now, forget the marketing talk for a second. If you want to know what's actually being cooked for the start of 2026, you need to have the 9th Charnel on your radar. This is coming from Psychot Dev Creations, an Indian studio that is delivering work that looks like a major AAA unit and is dropping January 30th. Originally, this was an Unreal 4 project, but the dev gave it a full upgrade to Unreal Engine 5.3. They are leaning hard into Lumen and Nanite to make sure the visual fidelity isn't just trailer hype. Your car gets wrecked in an isolated valley and suddenly you're in a ghost town filled with experiments gone wrong. But here's the technical W. The game isn't just an Outlast clone, it has a massive meta switch. The early game is pure stealth and navigation, alien isolation style. You're vulnerable, resources are non-existent, and the damage feedback is fatal. One mistake, you're toast. But then, the meta shifts. You get access to an actual arsenal, shotguns, handguns, and it turns into a slow, heavy Resident Evil style neutralizer. It's not a shooter, it's tactical neutralization. Plus, it's a narrative mosaic. You have 6 playable characters, each with their own motives, helping you piece together the government corruption. The dev focused heavy on 3D soundscapes and global lighting so that every shadow feels like an enemy. There's a demo on Steam right now if you want to stress test your hardware. It's the reset the indie horror scene desperately needed. No hand-holding, just pure atmosphere.
And this will be
And finally, OD. Hideo Kojima, Jordan Peele, Xbox Game Studios. This is the social scream. This is a showcase for MetaHuman technology and the Xbox cloud infrastructure. The facial captures are so high fidelity, we're talking pupil dilation, micro muscle twitches, the works, that it hits the uncanny valley and then just crawls right out of it. It's terrifying just to look at the character models. Kojima is using the cloud to create persistent, always-on fear. It's exploring how horror can be distributed through digital networks, potentially interacting with you outside of traditional gameplay sessions. It's a high-budget gamble that ignores every genre boundary to test the limits of what hardware can do to your brain. It's not about bosses, it's about a shared simulation where the lines between the game and your actual reality are intentionally blurred. It's madness, and I can't wait. Look, Resident Evil is going to be great. I'm gonna play it, you're gonna play it, and we're gonna love it. But if you want to see what happens when developers actually push the silicon to the breaking point to make you feel genuine dread, these are the 5 titles that matter in 2026. That is what's coming. But if you want to know about what the industry did very wrong last year, you need to check out this video right here. I break down the absolute collapse of the safe AAA mindset in that one. I'm out. Go do something else before the next patch drops.
grant wishes.
Who's there?